Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Is my full screen visible, guys? Can somebody?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Kids, are your parents on with you, next to you? If not, let them know we're starting. Vinny, finally we can see you.
How about Canada winning 1-0 versus Honduras, guys?
Yeah, Carlos. So it's going on right now, right?
Yep.
Sorry for taking everybody away from that.
That's all right.
Okay. Well, welcome. If you could all put yourself on mute. If we haven't met yet, my name is Cal. You've been hearing a lot from me. I think I met most everybody, maybe a couple of the new parents, not yet. We will do the one-on-ones, the remaining ones, Vincent, tonight, later, and then on Monday we'll do everyone else who hasn't gone yet. So we'll get a chance to chat. Rod has been leading these discussions of after fitness, but tonight I suggested I put together a presentation about the history of the club and of our team, and talk about the future, that is primarily the summer to come, which is a result of some restructuring by Canada Soccer and Ontario Soccer, of which we are part of. It's very exciting, and I look forward to sharing this with you. If you have any questions as we go on, let me know. Toronto High Park FC, club history. Now, it's not that old. The club itself was formed in 1982 as the West End United Soccer Club. Now, at this point, most of your parents were, in their primary ages or teens maybe. But so it's not, soccer in Canada is not that old in terms of all these organized clubs. Woodbridge, for instance, only goes back to the 70s, and they're a very well-known club. So 1982 is when it all started, and they only had 42 players on 3 teams. I mean, that was Toronto High Park, back then known as West End United. It was really a house league. In the late 90s, Swansea Soccer Association was born. It came out of the same group of people from West End. They said they wanted an alternative house league structure, which pretty much was people with cottages didn't want to play in July and August. So they decided not to play in July and August and take off those 2 months. But these folks got together in 2009. So you guys were only 3 years old when this happened. And that's when Toronto High Park was born. So you're playing really for a relatively new club, which has come a long, long way considering its history. In 2011, so by this point, you guys were already kind of playing Timbits, 4 or 5 years old. The club went from house leagues only to being a year-round thing. You guys were a part of this. Maybe you remember the IDP if you were part of the team back then, the Indoor Development Program. This was a big deal. We're going to look at some pictures from your IDP days, but this was a gigantic deal when we said not just the summer, but let's treat soccer as a year-round sport in terms of development. That was a big deal. I remember that quite vividly. I'm sure some of you do too as well, and parents as well. In 2016, so now we're getting to very recent ages, Ontario Soccer, which is the governing organization of all soccer in our province, really said, they started taking themselves seriously, and they say, we're going to develop a talent pathway. So for kids who want to go to the next level, university, college, or even to play after U18, we're going to give them professional coaching and competitive program development. So this, guys and ladies, this was only, a short time ago, and you all were in the thick of this. This is when the boys were U9, U10. This is when you guys might remember things started getting pretty serious. I looked back at one of the old rosters. We had We had 50 kids in the program, just boys at that point, 2016. In 2017, the OPDL, much debated, where it's what it's done and where it's heading, but it's the Ontario Player Development League for kids who really wanted to take it very seriously, very structured. The club itself in 2018, well, in 2017, we got the OPDL license, which was a pretty big deal. It's not everybody gets an OPDL license to operate a team. Some of you played on the OPDL as well. We tried to have a team, as you might recall, for the 06 group. We just didn't have enough boys to make it happen. Of course, if we rewinded the current group we have, we would have had more than enough, but that's another story. And here we are, things worked out fine. Of course, in 2018, Ontario Soccer gave the club an excellence award, the gold level, which is the highest level of any club in Ontario soccer in the whole province. So a lot of teams now got this gold level certification. We are one of the first ones at High Park. This is really something to be proud of. In 2019, Canada Soccer started its national youth club licensing, and boom, High Park gets it very quickly. Why? We have the governance, so the board, we have leadership, we have managers, we have people who work for the managers, we have coaches, we have tons of volunteers. We're a very, very organized club when you look at, and some of the other ones, and as you guys know, Shoma's been around the last couple of years. I've witnessed this, that High Park has great stability, and this is one of the great things of this club to be very, very proud of. So I guess the motto of Toronto High Park is a community united through soccer. But it's not just us. We are overseen by Canada Soccer and Ontario Soccer as well. Look at Ontario Soccer, established 1901. Oh, that's quite a long time ago. This is from the club, and every presentation that Rod participates in with the coaches, or I do, or it's on the website as well, are core values. Folks, when we're talking about going to an online session or going to practice, playing in a game, volunteering, these are the 6 things. Each of these things each of these activities is targeted to. First, mindfulness. We want to make thoughtful, creative, intelligent players and intelligent people. Folks, Coach Rod's not going to tell you maybe, but if I hear, or Coach Rod hears from your parents that school's not going well for you, you're going to be off the team for a while, okay? Mindfulness, intelligent people. That's the most important thing, okay? Schoolwork, hard work. Joy.
Yeah. What?
Who's that? Yeah, thank you. It's like a rock concert all of a sudden. Joy. Soccer should be fun. We're here to play. Yeah, we talk about scores and all that. And as we get older, we do talk more about that. But I hope you're all enjoying yourselves. Development. We want to reach our full potential. Not just as players, but I would say as people, as coaches, as parents. Accountability. Responsibility. Take the cones. How many times did you hear that? Take the cones. Personal responsibility and service to the community. Compassion. Spirit of teamwork. Inclusiveness. Communication. Let's talk about that all the time, right? With Coach Rod. And competitiveness. We want to achieve success. And we'll talk about that, about the summer season. These are the core values of the club, and that is about the team as well. Now, let's talk about the team history. 2006 boys team. Here's a nice old picture. Not too old, actually. A couple of years old here. I think this is probably U11 or U12. So as you guys remember, you played Timbits, and then we did indoor development program. On the left here, the coach is Coach Gadd, who was the old technical director. And you see Henry Brown, maybe. Some of you guys might remember these folks. And I've identified one boy who I almost did not notice. Look at that. Baby Vinny. Look at that. There he is. Vincent in his heyday. And you guys remember Coach Adrian and Jonathan Brown. And here's some of the boys. Still on the right, you see Max Sleds. You guys might remember him. And look at Happy Amir. Amir looks like he has to go to the bathroom there. Happy Amir, so cute. We got older here. I remember this picture. This was wild. Let's see. I separated this into two. Let's see who we might want to call out here. Is that, I see Anthony in the bottom right, yeah?
That's McKenna in the middle, and that's on. He's not on the team anymore. Antonio's right next to him.
Antoine. Or Antonio, yes. And then, can you guys see my mouse? No? Is that Keon on the
Yeah, we
right?
can.
Is that above, is that Keon above Anthony or no? Maybe
I don't
not.
think so.
No. And then, well, there's some other people. Willem and Daniel are up there. Anthony again. Happy Amir. Amir, don't you have any sad pictures? Is that Jules? Top right.
Sam Lusthouse in the middle.
Yeah, yeah. Owen Phillips as well, right? Anyway, these are some nice old memories, some pictures I mean, not the greatest pictures. Here are some, the Shoma back when he was goalie, Antoine McKenna, and Ennis, who was quite tall back then. Wow. All still playing. You guys might remember if you played in that epic futsal season, which was our first taste of competitive soccer. There's baby Shoma, baby Cho, baby Amir, baby Antoine there. This was the other team. We had enough to field two teams. McKenna, baby Peloso. And Captain Jack looks like. There's Jack. Is that Jules? Is that Keon? Yes, with Shoma. Yeah. Sorry, there's a lot of pictures of Shoma because I happen to be his father and I had these pictures. And here's one of our more recent pictures. Look at all the players we had, and there's Alex and Liam, highlighting them. And a nice picture from this past summer. It's so great to see many players that stayed and some new players as well that joined over the years. Now, say again?
Look at my hair in the bottom right. That is atrocious.
It looks pretty much the same. And Alex
No, that's a little longer.
Well, this was just not that long ago. So, we have a very professional coach, Rod, but, before that, there was Papa coaches and Mama coaches. We have Carlos, who's on the line, Alex's dad. That's Coach Jason. He was a very big leader in our group with his son, Owen. Now he's helping out the OPDL 2007 team with his other son, and that's me 50 pounds ago. I wanted to note some coaches that we had. Who remembers this fine gentleman? Anybody?
Jordan.
Yeah, Coach Jordan. Coach Jordan's was, I would think, probably one of the more pivotal, memorable coaches for our boys. And
for sure.
Yeah, he was a fantastic influence on
Good
many.
coach.
Yeah. This guy, you guys know, Emanuele.
Who's this guy?
This guy, he led you for many years. And he's still doing the fitness stuff and still coaching many teams. And you guys see him on the pitch, and he really loves you guys and the parents. So we're forever grateful to Emanuele, and he's been with the club for quite a while. Who knows this guy? Parents can answer it as well. Everybody?
That's Jason.
Yeah, that's Jason Massey. Jason Massey he reports to the board. He's the general manager of the club. So he's kind of at the top of the food chain. And what a lot of people don't know about Jason Massey, and Andrew Robbins, hold on to your seat here, but he played for Liverpool Academy as a young boy. Jason's, I've seen him kick. I think Carlos, did you? I don't know if you've played with Jason Massey, but he's a nasty player, very good player.
I did. He's a very good player. Indeed.
Yeah. What the last coach I wanted to mention is our former director of soccer and coaching development as well. His name is Eric Tenlado, and he's probably what I would say is currently our celebrity coach. Because if we're done with this meeting and you happen to turn on the Canada-Honduras game that's going on, you will see him on the sideline. Eric Tenlado is now an assistant coach with Team Canada. There's Team Canada celebrating a recent win. You see John Herdman in the middle behind the goalie, and I've circled Eric's face. He's there in the back. So it's pretty cool. You know, this coaches can go from here and reach very high heights, as can obviously players. Again, given that the whole competitive program is quite recent, you know, who's going to be the player to break the barrier here and go to that next level, kind of like our coach Eric did. I want to here mention, just before we talk about our current coach, Beatrix, my beautiful wife, who has been leading these fitness sessions, and there she is. And that's Beatrix. We're at a TFC game, and she's done a great job just volunteering her time. She's a professional trainer, but she volunteered her time to be with the boys. And thank you, Beatrix. By the way, I'm in Florida. I came down here for a week. I have some business down here, so.
Amazing picture, Kalman. Love this.
So this is Rod right before he had to go to the bathroom.
Oh my, yeah, right before to go to the bathroom. I don't know, but yeah, sounds like
Rod.
LinkedIn profile picture.
I'll let Rod maybe speak for himself, but I don't know how many of you actually know too much about him. I mean, he grew up playing from a young age. That's him is that Cristiano Ronaldo next to you?
Yeah, of course. Cristiano Ronaldo, and the other one on top, it's Messi, but you can't see it. Sorry. Yeah.
This guy really looks like Ronaldo.
No, you know what? No, it's a ground when I was playing in how they call it in the south, like barrio. So I was playing this game in Medellin in Colombia. Like the only strange guy, the only stranger, it was me with just 21 Colombian players. So yeah.
Rod, tell everybody where you were born and what are the places you lived in.
So I was born in France, close to the border with Germany, Strasbourg. That's the big city. And I left France January 2012. Before that, I was living a little bit in Belgium, Sweden, and 2012, I decided to move to Canada. That's a picture when I was playing in Germany. We were playing some tournament in Germany. I'm right. Yeah, that's me. Right. Yeah. So I did some tournament in France and in Europe with my team. We had a pretty good team in France. We played the French Cup on some at some levels, and in the same time, so I decided to move to Canada. That was before in Montreal. I was coaching a girl team in Montreal. After I moved to Quebec City, come back to Montreal, went to Toronto. And after this, we decided with my wife that I met here to live in Colombia for 1 year. We came back after 1 year. And this type of picture, it's because in the same time, I have an association in South America and I'm helping some football club in Venezuela. So that's a picture that we were sending like shirts for some club in Venezuela. So that's the type of partnership that I have. In the same time, on the right side, that's why I don't think you know this club. It's one of the most important club in Colombia. It's the Deportivo Independiente Medellin, and I met one of the director. It was really funny because at this moment he was doing the World Cup in Russia. So I was in Colombia, and this guy is the director, the sports director, and he was texting in the same time. He was talking to James Rodriguez, and he was texting in the same time one of the best player at this time in Colombia, Cuadrado, that was playing for Juventus, Chelsea, and the other. And it was just, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just texting Cuadrado. He's just texting me since Russia. I'm like, what the heck? So I really like football. It's part of my life. I will say I'm writing articles for some French newspaper too, sometimes about South America football. And yeah, that's where I am. And hopefully we can achieve some nice things.
I will add that Rod will be a father later this year. So his wife is pregnant, as you all might know. So, you know, we're in total support of him and that, and our best wishes, obviously. And, you know, you might see me or maybe another, probably another full-time or paid THPFC coach, maybe fill in once in a while for Rod. So don't be surprised if that happens. But Rod's with us. He puts in a lot of hours. You guys can't imagine. He's hard to keep up with. But he promised me a job when he gets a job in Manchester City. He's taking me with him as a director of communications or something, right, Rod?
We will find something.
Okay, we'll find.
Just Photoshop my picture before, and we will do something.
Yeah, new picture. Rod is well connected in the soccer community, as he mentioned, and he's very entertaining to follow on Twitter, especially if you speak French, which I don't.
I post in English too and Spanish sometimes.
This is Quentin Westberg, who is one of the goalies for Toronto FC. He's TFC goalie. And how did this video come about, Rod?
I just, the idea is that it will come one of these weeks when they are back from Florida from the training session. I want to ask him to come to one of the sessions, especially for the goalkeeper, for Jad and Connor, so we will come and train them. But I already talked about the team currently is following me on Twitter, and we exchange a lot, and every practice we do together, I'm always posting it on Twitter to exchange with some coach and some players, and he's really following the Toronto High Park Boys 2006, and he just wanted to send you a message.
Guys, that's pretty cool. You have eyes of other people in the city, especially a professional goalkeeper. Very cool. Listen.
Hi guys, Quentin Westberg from Toronto FC. Just wanted to send you guys a little message of strength. Hold on, it's almost over. Soon you'll be able to be back on the fields and enjoy the game of football like we all do. All right, so just sending you guys all of my best wishes for 2022. Hopefully you all be back on the field as soon as possible, and wishing all you guys a great season and a lot of great moments on the field and off the field. Take care.
Thank you, Rod, for arranging that. Okay, so we have quite a legacy in a relatively new club, and I wanted to look at the future. What will the summer, maybe next few years, as the team the boys finish up their high school years, come or bring? And the first thing to know about the structure and the structure we will be playing in is, first, what does Canada require of clubs and where do we fall in? Well, I mentioned earlier that we have the National Youth Club license, which is a very big deal. THPFC got that in 2019. The next level down, a lot of clubs have provincial youth club license. And so they are getting ready to be, national youth club license holders perhaps, but they're not big enough yet. They don't have the governance, the coaching staff, or the development things in place. And there's also this quality soccer provider. Now get this, you have to be a quality soccer provider at a minimum starting in 2023, so next year, in order to have a club sanctioned by Canada Soccer. So we are way above where we need to be. And I'm telling you, some clubs are not going to hit this quality soccer provider. So the idea is that Canada Soccer is keeping an eye on clubs and making sure that they have these requirements. Coaches, player development, periodization, like governance. I keep saying governance probably because I'm a lawyer, but a lot of other things go into it. Facilities, staff, etc. Now, Ontario Soccer is one of the provinces that fall under Canada Soccer, and Ontario Soccer runs the leagues, just like Manitoba Soccer, Saskatchewan Soccer run their leagues. And the league structure, we've always had this OPDL. You guys might remember something called OASL, which is the Ontario Academy Soccer League, which has since kind of disbanded. And now some of the academies are OPDL, and some of the academies go into this right side here that I'm going to talk about. This looks familiar. Each region has a district, like the TSA, the Toronto Soccer Association, where you guys played the last few summers. And above that is Tier 1. So we have Tier 2 and Tier 1. And above that is the regional level. So keep in mind, there are many regions. So if you live in St. Catharines, you're not going to play in the CSL, which is the Central Soccer League. You're going to play in the Niagara Soccer Association. And, you're going to play, actually, the district level there is called the Niagara Soccer Association, the NSA, Tier 2, Tier 1. And then your regional league is called the Golden Horseshoe Soccer League, the GHSL, instead of the CSL. The point is, we have this, we've had this structure where if you're not an OPDL, and if you're sanctioned by Ontario Soccer, you play district, Tier 2, Tier 1, or regional. And this was a promotion relegation system, okay? And you guys, the team, last year, because they finished top 2, would be promoted from Tier 2 to Tier 1. But that's going to be changing. And what's changing is that the regional league is gone. And Ontario Soccer has now started a new league. By the way, Tier 1 and Tier 2 is staying. And ordinarily, Toronto High Park Boys 2006 team is going to go into Tier 1, right? But now we are going to, the Ontario Soccer has invited us to join this new league, which is no longer called regional. Why are they doing this? Ontario Soccer, why are you doing this? Why are you getting this rid of this regional league? Well, they're trying to provide consistency among all the regions in the province, kind of like hockey. Like you have A, AA, and then AAA on top. They're trying to kind of make it more consistent among all the regions. And they're starting this year with the Integrated Model League, the I model, all right? The I model is saying, well, this year it's only going to be in the GTA, so the CSL league, but next year, the Golden Horseshoe, and if you're in London, whatever league you're in, or Windsor, they're all going to be a part of this. Don't worry, we're not going to have to be traveling all over because they'll make various divisions. But the Integrated Model League is starting to look a little more serious. It's starting to look a little like OPDL, if one can say. But the point is, it's becoming more serious. Look, winter sports preseason, that's where we are now in the gray. After the winter sports, we go into the qualifying season, which I will explain. Then we get a 2-week break. And then we go into the competitive season, or the regular competitive season. There'll be 2 divisions, competitive 1 or competitive 2. And then at the end, a championship showcase. So some kind of championship, depending on where we finish. And then at the end, recovery and transition. I love it. We get a little break again. In fact, a month break. Okay. So that's what the annual league. Now, I'm seeing, okay, no questions. All right, sorry. So let's talk about this qualifying season. Right now, it's roughly scheduled to be between April 1 and June 20. And we're going to play now. I think it's actually going to start later. It's probably going to start in May, I think. But this is what we're being told right now. Okay. So the team will play a bunch of games against other teams in the area. And then based on the results of those, and this is why we're training so hard right now, right? Because we're getting ready. It's not like we have, 6 weeks to prep. No, we're right out of the gate. We will determine whether we fall into competitive 1 or in competitive 2. Okay. And then there'll be a break after June 20 or end of June to beginning of July, a 2-week break. It's a good time to take a vacation because they say July 5th onwards, we're back in business for the competitive season. Okay. We might be in competitive 1. That would be a huge jump for the team. The likelihood is we'll be in competitive 2, but we'll see. And I'll talk about how that works. Okay. So again, this is the qualifying season break and into competitive. All right. This is new. In fact, I know this past summer you guys had like 8 games or something. Like, no, they're targeting 20 to 30 games. So we're going to play a lot of player rotation. Everybody gets a chance, a lot of chances to play. It's going to be really something else. Let me highlight some rules for you all on what we know about. There's going to be yearly qualifications. So just because you're in competitive 2 this year doesn't mean next year you can't get into competitive 1. Okay, so this qualifying season is a fresh start for everyone. That means no promotion, no relegation. Once you're in the I model, you're in the I model. Now the question is, are you in competitive 1 or competitive 2? There are coach certification requirements. Your head coach, Rod, needs to have a provincial C, which he is in the process of nearly finishing. And me, as assistant coach, Soccer for Life, and I got that a couple of weeks ago. So we're all set on the coaching. But again, can't just grab a coach off the street and have her coach for you. Nope, it's got to be a rigorous certifications. Provincial C is no joke, by the way. It's tough. The Rod's going through it. He's doing great. There are going to be around 14 teams in competitive 1. How many left in competitive 2? I don't know, but one can assume it's more than 14. Okay, but they're making competitive 1, and these are probably going to be the existing regional teams, a strong that have been playing CSL for years. I can just off the top of my head, I can think, Glen Shields, North Toronto, maybe Vaughan, Woodbridge, etc. Maybe folks have been playing there. I think if we have a good qualifying season, we can do it, but that's up to us as a team. There's periodization. Periodization is a very fancy word for how much do you train versus how much do you rest and how much do you play games. So this is, again, it's in the rules. Training to game, 3 to 1. 3 trainings to 1 game. Okay. Right now, that the plan is to train 3 times a week, and we'll have 1 game a week. And the games, they post these. It might be on the weekends and on Tuesday. That's what they're saying currently for our age group. I have no idea what it's going to be. Okay, I'll believe it when I see it in the schedule. The games are full games, and it's unlimited substitutions. All right. I like the comments. Amir, we're going to go to championship 1. I like it. Okay. Now, here is the roster situation. Under the rules, we are allowed 18 full-time players. Okay? 18 full-time players. They recommend 2 goalkeepers, and currently we have that. Okay? Now, I love this next thing. We can have 4 training players call-ups. So this might be, you know, I mean, if Coach Rod doesn't select you for the 18, which he needs to do in the next few weeks, directions from the club and from the league, because we have to register and all that, but directions from the club is in the next 2 weeks or so, offer letters have to be sent out and accepted or declined. If you're not selected for the 18 full, or you would rather not commit to all that soccer, then you can train and you get to play 6 times in the qualifying season and 6 times in the competitive season. Okay. And for training players, there's some interesting news here. The training players will pay a lower registration fee, and they'll pay $15 per game to play. So let's say, rough estimate, full-time players historically, you know, we pay like $1,500 for the summer season, something like that. But for a training player, it might be $800, something like that. And, you know, then if you're called up by the coach for the game, you pay $15 and boom, you're in. This is what the club has decided to do. And I really like this. It's a nice option for players, but also it's a way to, you know, keep people engaged and the like, and on the team. Imagine at a practice where everybody's there, we have a full field. We're playing 11v11. Isn't that fun? Like we have that. This is, and some of the other, well, most of the other teams don't have this level of engagement that we do. So this is very, very fun, good news here. So we'll talk more about this as well. The question has come up: is vaccination going to be required? And currently, it's unclear. Ontario Soccer has not yet issued guidance for the summer. I personally would be surprised if they don't mandate vaccination for outdoor sports. Some other jurisdictions have already done that. So we will see, but currently it's not required. You're all vaccinated clearly here, but I wanted to address that because I know it might be a question, and I know some of the kids haven't come back because they're not vaccinated. But that's the current plan. The club and also Ontario Soccer hasn't developed a clear plan yet. So this is the end. We don't want to stress, I mean, the last 10 minutes, I stressed the bottom right, competitiveness. We don't want to stress that too much. Everything Rod talks about, and I talk about, but mostly Rod, impacts all of these 6. Pick up the cones. It's all 6. Communicate. It's all 6. Be on time. It's all 6. Those are our core values. And your parents will tell you, and your coaches will tell you that, you know, being a part of this team, the way we want to have you on this team, is going to make you not just a better soccer player, but that's almost a nice byproduct of becoming a better person, a better young man. And then that's the goal here. So that's my presentation for the future. Coach Rod, why don't you maybe say a few things and we could answer some questions as well. So I'll now stop sharing this.
You said everything, Kalman, and during this month with the online practices, we talked about it, we say about it, we discuss, we say it again. I think everybody is on the same page, and yeah, I think let's see next week how we are back on the field. Hopefully everybody is on shape as we mentioned during this month, because otherwise you can be injured really easily. And thanks to Beatrix too, that she took the time every week to do these 2 sessions. So I think we are pretty good. We had the time to discuss about strategy, what we want to achieve. You know, what you said about take the cones, good behavior on and off the field. That's really important, because we are preparing you not just to be a good football player, but, you know, to be a good person in general. So I will just reiterate what you just mentioned. Everybody knows what we think about it. And like I said, everybody is on the same page.
Jack has asked, can we get a third black kit? I believe the answer to that is going to be no.
If you score 50 goals the next game, Jack, we can do something.
So yeah, I mean, the club pays for all that stuff, but it's usually red and white. But I don't know. Interesting.
50 goals.
50 goals? Get against or for? Low Sox. Any questions, parents? We're usually good on the over communication, so hopefully I've answered most of your questions before they might come up. And I'm looking at the back.
I have
I
a
have a
question.
question actually too.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Amir.
All right. I was just wondering if you're gonna like put these slides up like on the team snap or something, because like my dad couldn't make it, and I wanted to see how this.
I'm recording this, and I have the YouTube, and I will circulate it. Yes, and
Okay.
hi to Ad in Uzbekistan. Yes.
Okay, so my question is, Rod, you've been doing a great job. I noticed a huge improvement on the team during the games that I've watched. So my question is, are you going to stay with the team until the U18, or is that a chance that you could be moving to another age group?
No, I don't want to move. No, I'm good. You know, first because we are doing a project. We are part of a project. I don't want just to say, oh, now they are pretty good or whatever. Let's move up. So now I will not change the age group because we have this project. And secondly, too, I'm training too. You know, I'm learning. So I don't want to be the guy. Oh, they are good. Or it's because of me. Or now I can maybe go higher or whatever. So no, I will not change. No.
Okay, glad to
It's
hear that.
recorded, so I can't. In any case, now
That's
it's
recorded,
recorded.
so now
yeah,
it's
I know. We have a lawyer, so
yes, we call
I
this
mean-
a declaration against interest. Yes.
Excellent.
Oh my God.
Good to hear.
Oh my God.
Now, who is that old man asking that question? I'm just kidding. Hi, Carlos. Rod works as his he didn't mention his job is he's like an event and marketing coordinator for he's a medical device company, right?
Yeah. I'm working. I'm in the marketing for a German company in the medical industry.
So, and because he lives at Young and Eglinton, you know, he's not like most of the other coaches who rely on this. You know, they live nearby and they'll coach 2-3 as many teams as they can. Rightly so. Rod is, you know, this is more of a. We got very lucky with Rod. More of a side project for him for sure. But when he takes me to Manchester City, I say something different. Yes. Okay, guys. Any questions? Coach Rod Lasso. I like that, Graham.
Yeah, believe goldfish. Be a goldfish.
Rod is greater than Pep, Jack Holford says. Okay, now we're getting closer to the black jerseys.
Oh my God. Yeah, Jack. 50 goals, I told you.
He goes. All right, guys and ladies, thank you for joining. Thank you for this is hard, I know, this last month, but you're all back on Tuesday. Our first game is on the 12th. We have some rescheduled games to address as well, hopefully, and we have a bunch of games in April, which is interesting. So we'll have to balance that. But as Rod has said before, he doesn't expect to lose any more games. We gave every team that we tied or lost to the pass already. They get the freebies on us. Now, technically, we're supposed to play each team twice. So that's very good to see where we are and where we're going to be in the next 3 months. All right, everybody. Thank you very much.